أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا اللهم نور قلوبنا بنور الإيمان يا حي يا قيوم يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام اللهم إنا نسألك أن تحيي قلوبنا بنور الإيمان والقرآن والإسلام وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأتباعه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
We're reading the specified times of prayer. We're reading on the fifth point. Bismillah. Nature, man is extremely weak. By nature, man is extremely weak. Yet, everything touches him. Yet, everything touches him and saddens and grieves him. By nature, man is extremely weak, yet everything touches him and saddens and grieves him. Also, he is utterly lacking in power. Also, he is utterly lacking in power. Yet, the calamities and enemies that afflict him are extremely numerous. Also, he is utterly lacking in power. Yet the calamities and enemies that afflict him are extremely numerous. Also, he is extremely wanting. Yet his needs are indeed many. Also, he is extremely wanting, yet his needs are indeed many. Also, he is lazy and incapable. Yet, life's responsibilities are most burdensome. Also, he is lazy and incapable. Yet, life's responsibilities are most burdensome. Also, his humanity has connected him to the rest of the universe. Yet the decline and disappearance of the things he loves and with which he is familiar continually pains him. Also, his humanity has connected him to the rest of the universe. Yet the decline and disappearance of the things he loves and with which he is familiar continually pains him. Also, his reason shows disappearance. Also, his reason shows him exalted aims and lasting fruits. Yet his hand is short, His life is brief. His power is slight. And his patience little. Also his reason shows him exalted aims and lasting fruits, yet his hand is short, his life brief, his power slight, and his patience little.
This paragraph puts the foundation for the fifth point. So if we understand this paragraph, then we can understand the next paragraph also, the other leg of the foundation. And the following, it becomes easy to follow why the author is talking in this way. But as you were reading beautifully, thank you, let's slowly concentrate on the meaning. But it came to my mind, so you can share, any of you can share with me. What are we talking about? What is the main topic? The section we're reading is the manual. What is it about?
Prescribed prayers, and the meaning of the prescribed prayers.
Yeah, it is about the prescribed prayers and the meaning and wisdom in the times of the prayer, especially. Yeah? Right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah, well, you wonder, and I said to you, yeah. So I said this. I said to myself, it's excellent. This when the author is introducing something different. Why? What is he talking about here? It seems to have no relevance to prescribed prayers. No relevance to the timing of the prayer. Nothing to do with it. Well, I said this, wow, it is interesting. What do you think the relevance of this first paragraph you read to the subject, and what can we make out of this kind of approach? What attracted your attention here?
The neediness of human beings.
He?
The neediness of human beings. How needy and how weak and how I don't know. I mean, just the feeling that they always there's something out of reach, and they're either weak or they don't have the sufficient capabilities to reach near huge human needs and wants and longings.
But not being able to accomplish any of them.
It's weird. I mean, the way that the sentences are structured, it was a little weird for me, because it seems like, because I'm used to, like, when you say yet in a sentence, you're saying like it's sort of a but. Because it sounds like the beginning of the sentence and the end of the sentence are the same, right? So he says, for example, also he is utterly lacking in power. Yet the calamities and enemies that afflict him are extremely numerous. Okay, so I mean, they're not opposites. Or for example, he is extremely wanting, yet his needs are indeed many.
So if you try to
Usually when I use yet in a sentence, I mean like the second part of the sentence is the opposite of the beginning of the sentence.
Yeah.
I'm hungry, yet
I shouldn't eat. I am on date, like diet.
Yeah, for example, but
temporarily today, this morning only.
But it says, for example, he is extremely wanting, yet his needs are indeed many.
Yeah.
Or he is lazy and incapable, yet the responsibilities are burdensome. And it makes me wonder what does he actually mean when he's contrasting those two, but they're not really contrasted things. And I feel that maybe later on it sort of explains that, and that you feel that you can reach something, you can see it, because he says here, for example, his reason shows exalted aims and lasting fruits, yet his hand is short, or his reach is short.
Don't you see that contradiction?
It's not, well.
Yeah. I want to hear it, but I cannot hear it. What does it mean? It means contradiction in the nature of my existence. I mean, in my existence, I am given this desire, yet I have no means. No means has been provided for me, but I have been given the desire. There is a contradiction in my existence.
Or in the way I see my existence.
Yeah, of course, but that's how it seems to me from the beginning.
Okay.
So I have to solve this problem or riddle, whatever you say. But there must be meaning in it. Let me search for it if I can find it. If I cannot find it, I will say there is a manufacturer's fault in my being.
So
If I cannot find the answer.
True.
Yeah, because I want to see, but I don't have eyes, for example. I haven't been given eyes. For example, whoever made me with the desire to see, and also made me with no means that I can see it with. What's going on? I have to question. See, is there any way of solving this riddle? Or do you think somebody made me in a way that I will struggle in this contradiction? There must be but we have to investigate. Prior to this, I have other concerns about the way the authors presenting the subject to me by yeah. Yeah. Do you have your book with you? No? So you can use it. Here it is. Yes. So why do you think, while we are studying the timing, the wisdom in the timing of the prescribed prayers, the author studies human nature and points out the contradiction in human nature? At least we may not really be able to read the mind of the reader, but we can question which kind of method he's following.
Yeah, it's almost as though the timings of the prayer correspond to these weaknesses.
Or the human nature.
The human nature.
So from there, what do you get it? From this, yeah. Although we are talking about the time, the wisdom in the timing of the prayers, and the man stops everything, doesn't talk about prayer, and starts talking about, look, who are you? Have you ever thought of your nature? Who are you? What are you? What is it?
Yeah.
Have you thought about yourself? Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. However, I don't think it's still at the level of the timings of the prayer. I think when we talk about the nature of man, we're speaking about the need for prayer generally. Why these will be specified at times, I'm not sure I can see it yet.
No,
to say,
as far as the fifth point is concerned, yes, before he referred to something else. But now he started a subject, and then he started talking about the nature of man. and seemingly contradiction in the way the men are created.
Okay. Which is a strong foundation for the need for prayer, generally.
Yeah, but before this, we have to pay attention.
Okay. So,
Before this, we have to pay attention. Look, if you are going to talk to me about prayer, if you are going to talk to me about the timing of the prayer or something external or expected of me, the first thing you have to help me define myself from human perspective as you are. Of course, I always admired the author for his approach like this, that he's trying to teach us that, look, man, if you don't pay attention to human nature, don't talk about anything else. Especially if you are talking about religious matters, belief matters, understanding of any matter which is related to understanding of human beings must be based on human nature, analysis of the human nature. What do we understand from our being a human being? What does it mean for me? So without talking from human perspective, any religious matter should not be discussed, principally, in principle. So if you want to say, Islam is a beautiful religion, I don't know. Why do you say that? You have to say, look, let's talk about who you are, what you are. First, become aware of yourself. What is widely neglected? This is this point. We have to pay attention to it without introducing my own reality to myself. Don't talk about religion at all, or any belief system, or any ideology, let alone the belief system. Anything. You may say, this is true. Let's, a simple example, give me a simple example. What is true to do? For example, I have been watching out what is going on this morning. So I asked a brother, sisters are ready, to serve, but brothers are not. So I said, the brother, go and serve. Serve people. Learn. What we want to do, to discover our own nature first. Do we really need to serve people? We say yes, but it needs a preparation, if you like, a prep class. Why do I have to learn and enjoy serving? And the brother didn't say anything, mashallah. It's very submissive. It's a Muslim. So he said, yes, okay. So how can I do this? Yes, that's why you have to learn. Yeah, we have to learn. Yeah. So serving is good. We are talking about it. And that's correct. Everybody speaks, I think. Yeah? Serve other individuals, serve the needy ones, serve other mankind or other creatures as well. Serve them. It's good. Why? Explain the case from my perspective.
my human conditions.
From my human conditions. First, who I am so that I have to serve. Who I am so that I have to worship. Who I am so that I have to pray. Who I am so that I have to pray at a certain time of the day. We have to learn. We all have to learn how to speak from human perspective. Stop this using we Muslims have to pray or we Muslims pray. It means nothing. We have to realize that. In Islam, we are asked to pray 5 times a day. Meaningless statement. It's just information. Oh, okay. In Buddhism, they are asked to go to the temple. So what? It doesn't justify anything at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. In Islam, when the month of Ramadan comes, we fast. You just have to laugh at it. So what? Doesn't make sense. It's in the Quran. Doesn't make sense. You know, I have to legitimize. I have to be comfortable that yes, I have to take notice of what is written in the Quran and why, according to my human conditions. We have to learn how to build up our own rhetoric. We have to learn, very simple, we have to learn how to speak to human beings, not Muslims. Or Christians also have to learn how to speak to human beings, not Christians. Yeah. Or have to speak, if they want to, for example, propagate Christianity to Muslims, again, they have to speak to human beings. You are a human being, you have these qualities, be aware of yourself. What are the properties of your existence? How do you see yourself? How do you locate yourself within the existence of the rest of the world? So that Christianity makes sense to you. As a human being, not as a Christian, neither a Muslim. You know, somebody may say, I come from a Muslim background or Christian background. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Speak to human beings. We, by definition, every ideology, every religious tradition, yeah, every religious or ethnic narration claims that I am the most fitting set of thinking, set of life to humanity. Have you ever seen any religious tradition which says, I'm not fitting to human beings, but follow me? Have you heard any philosophers, any religious tradition? I don't know, anything ideologically describable. You know. They all claim that that is the most appropriate thing I'm offering to humanity. Okay, whatever the others do, that is their choice, but I have to take notice of my own attitude. If I am speaking to anybody, doesn't matter, as a child, as an old man, I'm not referring to you. So you are not an old man. You are an old man. Not an old man. I am the old man. You are old. Your wife is not here. No, don't worry. Don't ask your wife to watch this video. Okay. Speaking to an old man, it's a young man, or the male, female, whatever. Speak to that person as a human being at his age, in his capacity, within his capacity. Think about his cultural background, etc. Take it as a human being and speak to him as a human being. Even a child, treat him as a human being, but in the child form. Never say, even in the family background, in the family setting, we usually say, look, this is the way the Christians do. We are Muslims. We don't do that. You see inconsistency in the claim there. I will do this because I am a Muslim, not because I am a human being and it makes sense to me and I can really confirm it. Now, the Quran, every religion, every source, every scripture claims the same, but Quran also claims that I am your Lord, I am the one who created you, and I am the one who's going to show you the way which most appropriately fits your humanity. Isn't that the claim of the Quran? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Most appropriate that fits yourself, because I am your creator. I know the best what you need, which kind of guidance you need. Okay. Now let's read the Quran accordingly as it claims to be. Inshallah, it's very important. These are important.
Can I ask a quick question? Just
Is it quick? No,
Yeah.
or
it's good.
look, it doesn't matter. If it's
I
quick,
don't
it's
know.
not important.
Are
Yeah.
we going to talk about why we don't pray at certain times of the day, or because we're talking about why it's important to pray these 5 times, but what if you want to pray at other times? You know, like I feel like in Islam, people sometimes feel very restricted. There are certain restrictions where you're not supposed to pray at certain times. So I know people who might feel that besides the restrictions on certain times, they also cannot pray besides these 5 times or the Hajjat or whatever. So are we going to talk about that at all at some point? Or?
Yeah.
I'm curious about
No,
this as well.
no. What is the point in it? What do you understand from praying? I'm not asking this question. What do you understand from prayer?
What I understand from prayer?
So this is the question. What do you understand from praying? What is praying for me, for you, as a human being? So if you understand that you are in need of prayer, we will study in the following paragraph. Then you will understand, then you can say, okay, I am in need of prayer. Let me learn how to make it. Because I have to do it in different forms. There is not only one form of prayer. So there are many forms of prayers. But even, for example, let's say we pray before sun rises. Correct? Just before sun rises, we pray. Okay, that's one form. How about while the sun rises? I'm not going to pray. But we should not reduce the word, the prayer, to only one form of it, which is, I think most people are familiar with it. In Arabic, it is salah. In the Quranic language, it is salat or salah. But in subcontinent, namaz. Yep. Are you familiar with it? Namaz. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Turkish and Turkish-speaking people, and in the Asian culture mostly, they call it namaz. So it is a reduction. Reducing prayer to namaz, it means only certain form of prayer. Is not really what we understand from prayer as it is presented to us in the Quran, or we are expected to understand what prayer is, particularly the prescribed prayer, and particularly the timing of the prescribed prayer, and see the wisdom in it. That's the subject of this text now. You wanted to say something?
Could you clarify then what, this is very interesting, I've actually never heard this, the difference between salat and namaz. I thought namaz was just like another way people in a regional context talk about salat. So
This is one.
do you know?
No, salat is, so it's a good question, legitimate question. I appreciate the question, but we are not going to go into linguistic analysis of the salah means really. Salah means really really what it means? Support. For example, when you say salawat, plural of salah, which means what we say salawat, what do you understand from when, first thing comes to your mind, salawat. Alayhi salatu wassalam, you know, salawat. It means saying alayhi salatu wassalam, that's what we say, alayhi salat. But we are saying the salat. Can you imagine that we would be saying namaz will be on the Prophet? It doesn't make sense, does it?
Yeah.
The same word. Yeah, salat means really, really, really essential meaning of salat is support.
And connection too, right?
Yeah, salah is throwing something into somewhere also. Salah, salli. Do you understand that word as well?
No, because salah also comes from the word salah,
Salah,
which is
yeah.
connection.
Connection, relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's connecting. Yeah, it has many, many, many other meanings. But we are specifically talking about the wisdom in timing of the prayer. But the way the author presents the subject is very important because it is valid for every matter. If someone tells you, because of this, you have to do that, in our religion, we have to do this, etc., we have to base all these arguments on our human reality, not on our Muslim claim. It is an adopted identity. And we all know that. The word Jewish, jewelry, Judaism, the word Christianity, the word Islam are later developments of the respective religious traditions, not original. They are adopted identity in the context of secular establishment. For example, they came here, whatever happened, we don't want to say that they killed everybody. So, and then America, they discovered the American continent, and then they found some other people there. No, you didn't know America, come on. So forget about it. So if you insist that something serious happened to you, right? Say that, no, I didn't know, that you discovered it. So I was here, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No. So we discovered America and then established a system here and call it, I mean, it had several different stages of establishment in the United States of America. But it didn't occur suddenly, United States of America. It is a historical development, political historical development. Now, afterwards, they established the Constitution, and then they described citizen or citizenship. And they said, whoever is born here in this land, who is already here, is an American citizen. Look, American citizenship is a social, secular construct. So the title of Jew or jewelry or Judaism, title of Christianity, Christendom, is a social construct. Not at the birth of Jesus, never said this religion is Judaism, Christianity, or something. This is a social construct. Muslim also is a social construct. The name, we call it as an identity with uppercase M, is a disputed, sociologists, historians disputed. Some people say after 400 years after the death of the Prophet, this name Muslim became an identity for a certain group of people. So what do we keep? Why do we see that Muslim, Islam? Read the Quran. you will say that Aslamna li Rabbil Alameen. It means we submitted to the word, the Lord of the words. So Muslim, the main Muslim, in the Quranic context, is so obvious in the Quranic context. Muslim li, Islam li, Islamna li. It means we submit to the Lord of the world, not pick up the concept which is secular. Secular means really not atheistic or no, which is a social construct developed in the history of Muslim society. So it became a title of a certain group of people, but this is just a political identity. It doesn't give you it doesn't entitle you for anything apart from the kings or the administrators tell you that, okay, if you are a Muslim, you are my subject and you have to pay tax to me. Right? Or your zakat to me. So I will get my share first and then distribute the rest if there is anything left. We haven't seen anything yet, but we got into tax and nothing is returned. So these are the Muslims taking for granted that this community is a Muslim community, so coming up with any suggestion to the Muslim community, look, Assalamu alaikum, brothers, sisters. Oh, everyone said, wa alaikum salam. No, shout, please, shout. Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. MashaAllah, like this. Why? Reinforcing this social construct of Muslim identity. Do you understand the trick there? So, we should stop doing or imitating this historical mistake and speak to human beings. Look, what am I talking about? No, you know the book which is called the Quran? That this book claims that it is the word of your creator, God, the creator of the universe and your creator, and he speaks to you as what? As what? You as a human being. So clear, so simple. Unfortunately, this is not the fashion. It is not in the mood. Am I right? Am I exaggerating? Presenting any matter which is extracted from the Quran to human beings. So essential, so much neglected. Alaykum salam. Come. So go there. Take something from there first, and then. So they love it. Even I love it. So why shouldn't they? Right? So we can, we understand now, you understand that whatever bothers you, which arrives you or comes to you from the culture, that's what they say. It is, if you like, socially constructed within the tradition of this culture. It doesn't mean that we don't have any rules, we don't have any pattern of life, we don't follow the best example in the, as represented in by the Prophet. No, it doesn't mean that. I'm not referring to that. But when we deal with any subject, we have to learn how to speak about this subject to human nature. That's what, did I answer your question? No. Because what I am, if you like, hinting or really insinuating that your question is not a serious matter. Establish the foundations first. Your approach, my approach. Okay. So here, any further question about this matter? No concern?
What I understood when you were saying salah, not like namaz, salah is referring to the human condition side, or the broader side.
Not really. Look, let me interrupt you. What we have been talking here, not necessarily salah at all. Look, in the first paragraph, there is nothing to do with salah.
Yeah, no,
So if we are talking about a matter related to religion or the Quranic teaching
we have to
or
base it on the human condition.
on the human conditions, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, yeah.
Speak from human perspective, speak taking notice of the human conditions, not saying that we are Muslims, so we do this and that is pointless. Not only pointless, it is contrary to the teaching of the Quran itself as well. So we have to remember that and think about any matter related to teachings of the Quran. We can call it Islamic tradition. It means the Muslim scholars studied the Quran, studied the teachings of the Prophet, and came up with a conclusion saying that, look, what I understood from the Quran, what I understood from this tradition, Islam, presented to us throughout the humankind, but the last by Muhammad at the last stage so far, yeah, at the last stage so far. And this includes a concept of prayer and the timing within a certain prayer. Now it is our subject, or you can talk about that. So if you are going to talk about zakat or hajj, let's say, main practices of the Islamic tradition, what are you going to say? You are going to talk about hajj to me. What will you say to me? How would you present the subject to me? How would you say? We Muslims, the Quran says this, that's all we have to go on hajj. Or they don't usually say we have to go on hajj. They say we are going to Mecca. Or if they don't know that much detail, they say we are going to Saudi Arabia. They can go to Saudi Arabia. They can go to Mecca, but it is difficult to go on hajj. And if you want to present the hajj, how are you going to base your presentation? Look, you are a human being. You have this and this and such and such qualities. According to these qualities, you need this. It's the same thing. The same paragraph can be put in front of every matter related to Islam or teachings of the Quran.
In the first paragraph, then, the question would be, is there anything inconsistent in what this man is writing?
Yeah, okay, understood. Carry on. Yeah, is there any inconsistency in the writings of this man?
Human behavior within the 21st century, or I don't know, maybe have different needs.
Maybe.
This man, I don't know, I'm just thinking hypothetically.
Mm-hmm.
That would nullify, or that would negate them what this man is saying, and then we would be able to set the foundation.
Yeah, if someone comes up with a legitimate, reasonable, acceptable explanation we have to take into consideration. Yeah. So we are human beings.
Someone else can share.
No. So let's go into the structure of the paragraph, because this is, and this one is the following paragraph, these two paragraphs establishes the foundations. Without really understanding the first two paragraphs, the rest would mean baseless. If we understand these two paragraphs, the rest will be much easier to understand, just we can read them, because we have got the principles. So let's, what is that? Yeah, okay. Let's analyze the first paragraph and ask our questions. The fifth, okay. I would say, as Ehab pointed out at the beginning of our discussion today, what is it talking about really? But man is weak, yet everything touches him. I understand from everything touches him affects his feelings, and everything falls into his concern. Right? Am I right? Okay. And saddens and grieves him. Yeah, it's a continuation of touches him, saddens, grieves him. Okay. But we are very weak. And what is going on? That seems to be a contradiction in my existence. If I don't look for a solution for this vulnerable situation, then I will remain vulnerable. I have to look for a solution. Simple example, come back. Simple example, I want to be healthy and I am ill. I'm sick. I want to be healthy and I am sick. You say, what's going on? I don't want to be sick, but I am sick. What shall I do? So look for a solution for any means of healing, or if you find any means of cure, then you apply for it or ask people, look, I don't want to be ill and I'm sick. I don't want to be sick and I'm sick now. There must be a solution. I have to look for the solution. If there is no solution at all, then something is wrong in my existence. It means in my existence means I am manufactured. Is it the right word? Not really perfectly manufactured. So when you start questioning this situation, you as a human being within your own human capacity may find out a way out as an answer to this contradiction. So let's analyze it. He is utterly lacking in power, yet the calamities, enemies that afflict him are extremely numerous. Calamities, enemies that afflict him are extremely numerous. Enemies afflicting? Where are the enemies? Where are the enemies? Enemies? Who are they? So
within myself.
So enemies. What are they? What are they? Within yourself, without yourself. But what?
My biases. My
for example, sorry.
My misconceptions about like an event that put me in a position that it harms myself.
For example.
Let's see. Yeah, I can think of an example right now.
Wants and needs.
Your needs.
Yeah.
Your needs are your enemies.
Yeah.
Because, for example,
people talking next to you while you're trying to think.
They are your enemies. No, but you cannot travel on in subway then. Not public transportation.
Anything that threatens
But sorry.
anything that threatens your existence or
Yeah.
or happiness.
For example, threatens your existence and threatens your human happiness. Good points. Good. For example, my enemy is, for example, what I want to be happy. Maybe Eugene is right there. I want to be happy, and there is somebody next to me doing some sort of activities or annoying me.
Yeah.
So not because this person is an enemy for me, but this is an enemy in my life. I want to be happy and I am not happy. This situation of unhappiness, when it affects me. The most important enemy, let's find out. But the most important enemy, Russia? So most important enemy, of course, some people said, anything threatens your existence, human qualities, the most important enemy. If somebody comes to me and say that I'm going to execute you and you will be annihilated eternally, what happens? No, I don't want it. No. You will be annihilated eternally. No, I don't want it. If someone says, you want to see, you need eyes, but I'm going to take out your eyes. I say, no, I want to see. I want to see forever. I don't want to lose my eye power or power of sight. I'm not talking about your brother. So respect him. So give ourselves to, we really respect him when he comes on Wednesday. Yeah, but in time, inshallah. It's a Muslim thing. So, inshallah, it's possible. It is okay, but, better in time. So, if someone says, you want to think, you want to have your free will, yeah, control your choices, your will, but somebody said, I'm going to take your brain out. Okay, you won't die, but no brain. What would you say? Yeah, okay. The main problem for me, anything threatens my human existence is my most vulnerable enemy, or not vulnerable, most horrible, or another word, deadly enemy. Threatens my existence, threatens my life, threatens my human qualities, that I'm going to lose it. For example, some people say, okay, after the age of 100 or 200, I will be really not seeing, not hearing, not tasting. What shall I do in this life? It means I don't want to lose them. But as the text says, can we stop death? Can we stop aging?
No.
No.
I'm still not
So what's going on? Yeah.
I'm still not clear about the whole enemy part.
Hmm.
You said that anything that threatens my existence is my enemy. So, for example, like Eugene gave the example, let's say you have person A, and then you have person B, person...
No. Approaches from not person A, person B, situation.
Yeah. But in that situation, you do have like elements in it. So one of the elements is A, and
So
A...
you want to be happy, but don't go into the, how to say, out of the track. You want to be happy, and there is something happening in this world which disturbs your happiness.
So that
Not the person, but the person is not relevant,
So you give the example of like if a person tells me I'll poke your eyes if you pass by here.
Okay.
So that would be my enemy
No.
now.
It is very materialistic understanding of it. Losing the fact that there is a possibility of losing your eye, this fact is your enemy. You don't want to happen. not the man there.
But that situation, the event that is presented over there.
Yeah, but this shows us that we are talking, we usually talk when the Quran also, that's another subject which is very important, very crucial, very fundamental, but unfortunately, we don't usually pay attention to it. We have to learn how to read the Quran from existential point of view. When the Quran says, kill your enemy from existential point of view, not the people there.
That makes sense. So in this scenario that I talked about, the enemy is really my fear of
Yep.
I
And you
guess,
cannot really stop it.
passing by or
Yeah, but you cannot really stop it yourself. For example, lack of nourishment. Look, you don't have anything to eat now is different from lack of the phenomenon of lack of nourishment. You are created made, or let's say, I don't know, created made. We are not talking about it. I am in need of nourishment, and there is no nourishment. The fact that there is no nourishment, despite of the reality that you need nourishment, this phenomenon is your enemy. So when we read the Quran, for example, kill some people, don't take Christians or Jews, your friends, as your friends, we think about the man here, a Christian or Jews, or I shouldn't be a friend of this man. No, at the existential level, your understanding of Christianity, your understanding of Judaism. So you shouldn't be friends of these false concepts. Nothing to do with the man. He's a man, you can just go and speak to him and maybe ask him to come and repair your roof and pay the money.
so that makes sense now. So any kind of emotional feelings that would affect me, those are my enemies.
Not necessarily emotional. Emotional is not enough. Definitely included, but not enough. That's the word emotional.
So anything that would put me in a state of unease.
Yeah.
Like a concept
threatens-
or an idea that would be my enemy.
threatens your existential status. But
Everything.
the existential status is not your bodily existence, your mind, your senses.
So I would say everything threatens
Yeah,
existence.
in your existence. Yeah. For example, do you want to use your ears? For example, no. Do you want to lose, and you will be okay, it's fine, the power of hearing? No, I don't want it, definitely not. And the fact, if I see that my eyes and my ears are losing their quality of hearing and seeing, I get irritated, I don't want it. This contrast is my enemy. And I have to solve this. Now, I'm not going to kill the notion. It's not a human being, it's not my enemy. Not the human being is my enemy. The phenomenon is my enemy. And the text says, did you notice that we mentioned briefly, very briefly, about an extremely crucial method in reading the Quran? Have you noticed that? You can read the Quran at an existential level, not in social, artificial, secular context. But we love it. We love reducing the concepts to artificial, material, secular setting.
Yeah, but you said reduce it to. Doesn't mean that you can't ignore it. That is part of the message. Like there's multiple layers. There's an existential level, and there's also the materialistic level, and there's also. I mean, you can't ignore that. There's a whole world that has multiple levels and layers. And just
It's a big subject. It's a big subject. It's a big subject. Oh, I feel that we are in the air in general. We don't have. We have not established how to read the Quran.
No,
But it's not related. It's not related to our particular subject. But it is very important. Look, even if there is a person who forces your door, breaks your door, and gets into your apartment, yeah, tries to get your property or kill you. So they call it in the secular law system, it's a legitimate self-defense. Yeah, if somebody really with no right at all attacks and tries to kill you, so you have to protect yourself. And if it is inevitable for you to protect your life, in order to protect your life, you have to kill that man as well. We reduce the teachings of the Quran only to the relationship between your defense, the right of defense, and right of killing the man. This is the very periphery of the subject, because it is the consequence of the main fundamental teachings of the Quran. Thus, practically, it appears, it comes out in this way. But when I read the Quran, I should understand that this is a human right given to me by my Creator in my own existence, that I have to defend myself. Be that you are a Muslim, be that you are a Christian, be that you are an atheist. That is your existential reality. You have to defend yourself. So we should not reduce the teachings of the Quran to only killing the man who attacks you. How about this existential level of understanding which Quran teaches me? Quran doesn't describe that how you should really defend yourself, how you should really kill the man, but it gives the news to you that, look, I am your creator. I created you with the need of defending yourself. Ultimately, if it is inevitable, at the cost of the other person's life, you are allowed to defend yourself, even at the cost of the other person attacks you. This is ultimately, but what we do, we try to understand the Quran. In the Quran, if someone attacks you, you can kill the other man. Why? The Quran says so. This is the law of the Quran. That is a very simplistic understanding of the scripture. Your God is speaking to you in order to help to decipher your reality. He is telling you that I created you with need to defend yourself. It is the giving that you say that, yeah, really I am endowed with, provided with this feeling. So I have to act according to the way I am made. So we don't go to the man, right? And we don't really reduce the Quran to as prescribing the legitimacy of the killing a man who tries to kill you. Quran is letting you know what your reality is. consequence of it, yeah, if it is really, really inevitable, you can kill. But what the Quran says, those people who drew you away from your land, you can draw them back from the same way as they drew you back, drew you from your land. It means really, if someone wants to take out of your house, saying that enters your house and pulls you out, you can say, no, go back to the road, to the way you came in, go back from there, and chase him back. That's your legitimate right. Don't go to extreme. For example, if someone comes and tries to drive you away from your home, take this man and throw the window and kill him. For example, no. In the way that he treated you, you can respond back to him. That is the justice, that's the legitimate reaction, that you can legitimize your reaction. And the Quran says that is within yourself. For example, if someone no, okay, so, all right. Okay, if someone, what else? Missed the track. Oh, yeah, I remember. Thank you. So if someone comes and steps on your foot in the subway, public transportation or somewhere, yeah, steps on your foot, and let's say that he's a rude man, didn't ask for forgiveness, didn't say, I'm sorry, anything. Can you take the gun and kill him? Within yourself. You understand? No, it will be outrageous. Come on, man. Yeah. You can say, please watch out, or be kind a little bit, maybe, That is how you are. Quran is letting us what we are, teaching us our reality. You are needy, you are created, you need help, you need eternity. For example, Quran says, you will be given an eternal bliss. You will be given at the same time an eternal punishment. Where is eternal bliss? Where is eternal punishment? Endless. You have to look for it. Not necessarily saying that, okay, paradise is created, hell is created, and we'll go there. What is the reason that someone will be eternally rewarded? Someone will be eternally punished. What is the reason Quran says? What? If you
go against your nature?
If you go against your nature, good starting. I will go and say, if you don't confirm your reality, it's the same thing. It means you need an eternal protector, absolute protector. If you cut off your relationship with the absolute protector, owner, creator, what are you, or what will you be left with? There is no absolute protector. There is no absolute creator. You don't belong to any absolute source. What are you left with? A person, a conscious being waiting to be executed soon. Dragged to the execution. How do you call this? They execute people on an electrical chair. Yeah, like this. Where are you going? We say that I'm celebrating what? Celebrating my 20th or 21st birthday. It means you are getting closer to the execution chair.
Dr. Malik.
Yeah, because you have no protector, you can no owner. That is the definition of the Quran. Rejecting the truth of your reality. We call it denial. We call it kafir. What is this? Somebody else there, out there. Look, that is a reduction to the teachings of the Quran. Analyze yourself.
Okay, so losing any of my human qualities is a threat to my existence.
Losing.
Losing.
Yeah, or thinking that you are going to lose.
Yeah.
Of course.
So in acknowledging that, okay, I'm going to lose these and my stay here is not permanent, I acknowledge and confirm my reality, right? And then I come to the conclusion that there is an absolute ruler.
There must be.
There must be.
Not there is. There must be. Otherwise, I will find the contradiction within my own manufacturing, if you like.
Okay.
So what the Quran says, I am going to put you in a straight path of thinking. It means understanding your reality, your human reality. Yeah. Did you like it? You start smiling. Yeah, that's what your God is teaching you what you are. Your reality is guiding you. So that you will say, I'm safe now. For example, but this child is very grown up. This is younger. Yeah? This is younger. And let's say she thought that she is in a strange place. The father and mother is not there. There is no one that she knows there. What does she do? Do you think she will play? Or what will you do? You are in a place, you went to another city, big city, yeah, and you suddenly realize that your father and mother are not there and you know nobody there. What do? Scream, huh? Panic, scream, cry. That is humanity. That is humanity. That's what the reality is. She will be absolutely right in panicking, not denying, crying. Absolutely right. When I lose my protector, I'm like that in that position. I'm like in this position, in the position of this beautiful lady. Yeah, really. Aren't you beautiful? No, it's not. That beauty doesn't belong to you. Your Creator gave you the beauty. Be proud of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Alhamdulillah, say Alhamdulillah. Allah made me beautiful. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. That is eternal hell for me. If I cut off my relationship with my absolute source, the Creator, who is the owner of the universe. No, I don't belong to him. Yeah, I belong to my parents. Of course, usually before I die, they die. So, I belong to somebody who died. No help. And it doesn't steal and give an answer to your existential expectations. That's why to identify and get to know how the Quran should speak to me. It means not the Quran, how my Creator should speak to me. And let's say it's another here, is another will say to his daughter, look, hold my hand firmly, huh? Don't get lost. Otherwise, if you lose me, what will happen? Let's say you went to Chicago and in downtown, crowded, rush hour, and you are going to take a subway, thousands of people are really pushing into the subway, and hold me, strong. If you lose my connection, what will you say to your daughter? You will lost. What the Quran says, if you lose the connection with your Creator, you will be the loser. Do you understand? So clear. That's how we should read the Quran. But unfortunately, we have discussed a little bit this morning with my visitor today. Unfortunately, Quran is read only within the context of secular social life in the name of religious codification. This is a ridiculous contradiction. Unbelievable contradiction. You will be punished if you don't believe in God, eternally in hell. So those people who are cheating on God's scriptures, they are, of course, described with a certain name. The Quran uses certain type of rhetoric to present the case. Sometimes says Moses, sometimes say Noah, sometimes say Adam, sometimes say Jews, sometimes say Christians, sometimes say those who claim to believe but not sincere in their belief. It means believers. Or sometimes say those who are sincere in their belief. You know, mukhlisina lahuddin, those people who really submit their religion, their understanding of existence to God, the creator of the universe. Right there. So describes every kind of attitude, human attitude, with a symbolic presentations. And we have to understand that this is all about me. Solomon is about me, Adam is me, Christians are me, Jews are me, hypocrites are me. So those people who are honest, sincere believers are me. Everything is in me. And he helps me, the Quran helps me to decipher my own reality. So I have to see it within the conditions of my own existence. Read the Quran accordingly. Don't reduce it to only, these are kafir, unbelievers. We have to fight them, kill them wherever we find. It looks ridiculous. We find no trace of this practice in the life of the Prophet, except some narrations by Sirah writers, historians. They love it. They love to show that the Prophet was really fighting because the kings, the sultans wanted to fight. Supported the idea, materializing the teachings of the Quran and putting it into the very dangerous word, secular context.
Dr. Could I add a point to what you're saying? Because I think it's really important. Just briefly, because I took a comparative religions class, in college, and I realized exactly what you're saying is, it is not, when you read religious text academically, they don't want to attribute it to an author because the creator is not considered an author of any of these books, because critically speaking, they say that you cannot prove that. So then they do reduce it to its historical context, and they only talk about every passage in its history and maybe what prophet came in conjunction with each message, and sometimes even want to attribute, the book being possibly written by nobody else but the messenger that brought it over. And they won't even take into an alternative consideration of, that maybe it could be a creator. So it's not even an option. In other words, they're not taking it into consideration at all. So I think what you're saying is really important, because it's not even considered, you know, in a lot of academic kind of discussions as another point of understanding the text. It's just something I know.
I think, thank you. Very good contribution. I think the word, I mentioned to somebody, I don't know where it was, maybe to you, you know, if you make a word cloud out of our discussions, the biggest word is existence. Right? Existence. I think we will take half of the cloud. So existence is the matter. Existence is the matter. So my creator is speaking to me. Creator, the second biggest word, by the way. I think so. So my creator is speaking to me in order to help me decipher my own existential reality. Read the Quran accordingly, read the Hadith narrations accordingly. If you cannot make sense of it, leave it, because any other way of interpreting these sources would be wrong. So you have to put it within the context of the purpose of the scripture. What does it mean? They keep saying that, which is right. You cannot really take the text out of its context, right? Okay, so Quran must be read within its context. That's very important statement, very true. But the problem is, your comment reminded me this. What is the context of the Quran?
Or which context are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. What is the context of the Quran? So that's why the definition of the Quran is absolutely necessary. What do you mean by the Quran? By definition, not by acceptance. By definition, Quran is, or Quran claims to be the speech, the guidance of my creator. Very simple. My creator is speaking to me, guiding me to my real nature. What I am is the maker. You know, exactly, very simple. The reader's guide or user's guide of a machine provided by the people or the person, that's make it easy, by the person who manufactured or designed or made this machine. What does it tell me? How to protect it? How to use it, of course. What is it good for? What purpose? What is the purpose in making this machine, and how to make most of it, right? If someone says, if the manufacturer, the manufacturer's handbook, or the user's guide say, protect your machine from the straight sunlight. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be enemy of the sunlight. I'm going to kill the sunlight because it destroys my machine. I have to protect it because, why? Because I want my machine not to be destroyed. It means, in bracket, if you don't want your machine to be destroyed or to be damaged, keep it away from the sunlight. I say, oh, thank you, because I don't want my machine to be despoiled. Look, come back to myself. Because I don't want to be spoiled, to have my machine spoiled. That's why I am taking it away from the sunlight, direct sunlight. So simple. It doesn't mean that I have to do something against the sunlight. No, just protect my machine. That's my desire. That's the nature of the machine itself. So the Quran lets me know what my construction from my creation needs to be taken care of. How it needs to be used. So look at yourself. Look at yourself. For example, it says, don't take Christians and Jews as your friends. That's myself. It means, what's wrong with the Christians and Jews? Let's say Christians. Well, make it simple. What's wrong with them? They attributed 3 personality to one entity. That's the gist of, I wouldn't say this Christianity. The Christ taught. This is Paulism. Well, some Paulist interpretation. Those people who know a little bit the story of it, they all know that. So this is 3 personality in one entity, in one essence. This destroys my machine. Do you understand? The sunlight destroys the machine. So I have to keep away my machine from this understanding. I shouldn't attach different personalities to one absolute essence. Don't be friendly with this idea. Yeah? Don't take them as your protector. You know, if I attribute 3 personalities to one essence, am I wrong, Eugene? No, mainly, yeah. 3 personalities to one essence, I will destroy myself.
And another way of putting it is we are protecting ourselves from the truth, protecting ourselves with propaganda, with historical anecdotes, and all these things that entertain us and keep us a very homogeneous group of people.
So
Because we want to insulate ourselves from the
rest of the world.
rest of the world and the rest of the universe, for that
Yeah.
matter.
And emperors will
Always
enjoy.
have control. Yeah.
Yeah, they will entertain their
Caliphates, sultanates,
Yeah.
khanates, rulers,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
So they will continue their authority over the people and satisfy their ego.
And manufacture some more stories along the way.
Yeah,
for people.
So, inshallah, we should be, this is, although that wasn't related to our direct subject, but methodology is important. When you have this methodology, when you read the Quran, you are not definitely, you won't be ashamed of chapter Tawbah, 9th chapter of the Quran. If you, I don't know, I feel comfortable, I am proud of chapter Tawbah. Yeah?
Because of your way of interpreting.
Understanding. No, but interpreting may say, it's a personal interpretation, rationalizing. No. Contextualizing the verses within the context of the definition of the Quran. Do you get it? So what is the purpose of the Quran? To teach me what my reality is, and whatever I read there, I found within myself. But if you reduce it to the level of the secular laws are not expected to teach you what your reality is, what your existential reality is. Do they? They say, For example, don't do this, don't do this one or that one, or don't transgress somebody's property. This kind of rules they put. Don't steal, this kind of things. So, but is there any existential analysis? No. In the law, you cannot do that. You have to be practical. If we reduce the Quranic teaching to the materialistic, practical life, what shall I do now? Just the Quran teaches me, for example, how to use this property. Or teaches me which kind of people I should be in contact with or not. I shouldn't be, or I should be in contact with. The people themselves is not related to the existential reality of my being, a human being. So it goes against the definition of the Quran. Quran cannot be reduced to the secular human laws. It doesn't mean that we should have no principles in our practical life. It must be the conclusion of it, result of it, end of it. But the basic teaching must be satisfied within my own self. And then, of course, I will say, okay, you cannot really steal the property of this guy. And also, you cannot steal the property of anybody. And in extension to, you cannot, to this reality, you cannot steal the property of God, the Creator. You cannot attribute it to yourself, saying that, look, this is what I made, although you didn't make. Somebody else created it. You are attributing it to yourself. So you can really understand the fundamental teaching of the Quran. The fundamental teaching of the Quran is to guide you to your true nature. Yeah. خلق الإنسان خلقه فقدره ثم, what was the context? ثم هدى. What was it? No, before it ثم هدى. خلق فسوى فقدر فهدى. Do you understand? He created you. He made it perfectly adjustable to your existence with the other existence. فخلق فهدى فقدر, and made that, give you a right proportion, فهدى, and put you to the right path, if you like. It means that this is your Creator who puts you to the right path. Am I not being precise in the verse, Brother Nader? Tell us. I mean, no, Faheda. I am looking for Faheda, because Quran says I am the Huda. It was by definition. قدر فهدى. قدر فهدى. هو الذي قدر فهدى. Yeah. So the Quran says, I am the Huda. With the first page you open it, what do you see? Alif Lam Mim. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. هدى للمتقين. هدى. So Heda to where? That's what we should understand. Everything, but fundamentally making myself realize what my reality is as my maker, right? I think we should go to the second paragraph. Or,
I have a quick question.
Oh yeah, sorry, you raised your hand, but I forgot.
This methodology of reading from an existential point of view, is it suitable for every single verse in the Quran?
You have to make sense of it, yeah, within the existential context. Starting from there, and of course, for example, your desire for existential, no, I'm sorry, your desire for eternal happiness. So starts with what? Eating the cake. Yeah, experiencing. That's practical. But you have to eat the cake in order to revive, regenerate your desire for eternal happiness. The one who made it sweet, the one who made it attractive, tasty, is the one who created me. It's just a promise, simple promise from him. Yes, he knows me, he is entertaining me and calling me to acknowledge him. So it doesn't mean that, okay, we need God, nobody, nothing else, I'm not going to eat cake. So everything is there, but see the foundation of it. Yeah. The real context is the connection between you and your source of existence. And then extension comes to where, for example, you need the cake. Where you go home, you sleep, you wake up, but you cannot really start from eating the cake and forgetting about your existential reality and saying that Quran says you can eat the cake, it is halal, but you cannot drink alcohol. It has no existential context. So this approach is wrong. Let's put it in a very practical terms. Quran has its own practical rules as well. But these practical rules are the last, if you like, last consequence of my life. Last, the marginal of my life. It ends up in this way. But the background of it, huge. 99% of the Quran, in fact, really teaches your existential reality. 1%, according to how to really adjust your life, guides there too. So you cannot say that practical word I am using, although technically in reality is not correct, but practically correct. Fiqh rules are included in the Quran. But it just it should make 1% of my concern, 99% must be established. Only this is the practical side of it. And practical side of in my practical life until I am taken away from this type of world. So understanding the religion must be based on not the very periphery of my life, heart of my life. And then the periphery is there. You eat the apple, it has a skin. Huh? Today I was breaking the egg. Yeah. And it was amazing. The eggshell. How it happens? Egg is there inside, different kinds of yellow yolk, side and white, and the egg. And the hand is packaging it. It's a miracle. Everything is miracle, but so miracle. Which kind of adaptation, which kind of evolving, so that the hand's body decided at the end, the material thing itself, I have to cover it up with a shell. Otherwise, it will be destroyed. Even I cannot think about it, let alone the particle itself. It's crazy. So we understand that without the shell, you cannot really protect inside. Everything is made. But this is the periphery of it. What do? You get the inside and shell is done, finished. Yeah? So when you pray, this is the approach. This is the approach. Practically, when you pray, you have to get the heart, the meaning, the gist of prayer. So the form of prayer is the shell. Yeah? So it is in it. Yeah, it is in it. But what do you do with it? Nothing. You follow it in order to present worship consciousness, your connection with your Creator. The Prophet shows it. You can present this in this form. But what we do, for example, as we say, salah means namaz. Yeah. It means doing certain actions. So we have the book. We have the book say Babu Salah, Kitabu Salah, and starting where? Shells. You have to put your water here, there. Just a minute. Where is the yoke? Where is the what? This is just a cover of it. What are you doing? But shall we deny? Who said? That's how the shell is altogether. But it is the cover of it. So rather than paying attention to the form itself, while you are praying, what? You have to be conscious of what you are doing. What does it mean for you? So the presentation is in Islam, we pray. What do? We do this. Look, what can you describe egg with its shell? Is it? Do you think it's going to be the description of the egg?
No.
Sorry?
No.
Garbage.
Yeah, almost. But when you describe the egg, because you didn't give any emphasis to the shell, so did you deny the reality that this egg is in a shell? You shouldn't.
Well, it's not in a shell, but the
Sorry?
shell is part of it.
Yeah, but you cannot really describe egg with its shell only, saying that
No, but
namaz,
but
salat.
But you can't describe the egg without the shell either.
Yeah, but salat, babu salat, no mention of the yolk, no mention of the alive cell there where the chick grows out of, no mention of the white, mention of only the shell. Rules, and that is the babu salat. It means the Babu Salat means the typical chapter in religious books.
It's a book, right?
Yeah, but do you understand that? The Quran never does that. Quran never does that. It doesn't mean that denial, but it is only 1% of the shell. No, egg. 99% of the egg. When you say egg, what you mean? What is inside. When you say prayer, when you say Babu Salah, what are you expected to talk about? Yeah.
You're making me hungry.
So the shell, you say, you know what is in this shell? Is the egg. Do you understand? That's how we should read the Quran. By definition, again, by definition. How we should read the Quran, by definition. Without this definition, you are not reading the Quran. You are reading what? Muslim codification book. Muslim communities, not Islamic. Muslim communities sacred book. They attribute some sort of sacredness to it. According to them, what's ridiculous? It is revealed by God. That's what they claim. This is the attitude. it makes the position of the Quran ridiculous. Okay. I think we should stop actually. We should get into the second paragraph. So, extremely, so that enemies that afflict human beings are extremely numerous. Also, he's extremely wanting, yet his needs are indeed many. His existential needs, again, not because I need money, I need a job or something. Exist indeed many. Also, he is lazy and incapable of talking about me. Yet life's responsibilities are most burdensome, practically. So, what's going on now?
I'm just curious to know what the responsibilities referred to. It means
to protect your life.
acknowledgement.
No. Life's responsibility, as it appears to be material. So life is, you have to take care of your health, you have to take care of your needs, go and work, and this kind of things. Yeah, I mean, but if you say that, no, not worldly, otherworldly, let's say it is bodily, bodily responsibilities, as well as in order to save your life, what are you expected to do? Although ultimately you cannot save your life, then everybody dies. But for the moment, for today, you have to protect your life. What are you going to do? A lot of things you have to take care of. So protect yourself from germs and contagious diseases, or anything that threatens your life, may be harmful for you. It's a lot of things.
Non-existential responsibility, I would say. Which ultimately connects.
But these are existential as well. The guy said right now, Ihab said, but egg means at the same time shell. Yeah, you can say no.
What I mean is, like, for example, like, again, going back to the analogy of the egg and the shell, I'm sorry to use that analogy, but you have to focus on what's inside, and then eventually that, because the shell itself is not important, but when you focus on the inside, eventually that will lead to realizing the shell
this
being
substance
important.
needs shell as well. You know that the existence of shell is also necessary, but in order to protect this egg, you have to, we have a lot of responsibilities. We have to be careful. For example, egg, not on the shell.
Right, forget about egg right now. I want to talk about life responsibilities. What is the author referring to when he says responsibilities? So you said that he's referring to our human, daily routine responsibility. You have to go to work, you got to make some money, pay the rent, those type of responsibilities. Nothing to do with existential.
I'm hurrying because the time is getting closer. But you don't forget that he had mentioned something else before.
And he's talked about the nature of man. Man is weak, impotent,
and his needs are many. He has extremely numerous enemies, etc., etc. And also practical life responsibilities are also many. Not easy.
But we refer to the enemies as in terms of existential reality. So
no, I mean your breathing now is also your existential reality.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, but one of them is the one side looks more to the humanity side of it. The other side looks more to your animal life side of it. Maybe because we don't really, the text doesn't really describe the life's responsibilities, everything, but he has said something else. And then also, in addition to this, and his humanity has connected him to the rest of the universe. This is also, we know, our humanity connects us to the rest of the universe, right? We cannot ignore the other things happening around us. No, our humanity. I cannot do anything at all if you hear that the sun is going to extinguish in 200 years' time, what would you do? Doesn't matter, I don't care because I'm going to die anyway before it extinguishes. You don't say that. You worry, what's going on? It concerns you. Extension goes and goes and goes. It means our interest, our connection, human connection, encompasses the rest of the universe, in fact. And we think that we have our capacity, we have our imagination, we have the power to think about the past, to think about the future, etc. I'm just hurrying it. Yet the decline and the disappearance of the things he loves and with which he is familiar continuously pains him, because decline pains him. Decline of anything that we are connected pains us, right or wrong. But also his reason shows him exalted aims and lasting fruits, yet his hand is short, his life brief, his power slight, and his patience. You know, we want to have it now, don't we? We want whatever we want to have it now. So that is the picture of human reality. But this picture shows us that it's not really consistent. It doesn't seem to be consistent within itself. But how can I adjust it now? How can I adjust it? How can I solve the problem now? There must be a way of solving it. Otherwise, my life will be horrible, and I don't want it. Right. I think we should stop here. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yeah. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. آخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.